Previously on BYL.
My mom, sometimes she doesn't understand me. Like, she doesn't allow me to talk. Like, if I say something, she will not allow me to finish it. She'll just start attacking me.
We continue to explore how our family background affects our sense of self-esteem and how the experiences we go through growing up forms our sense of self-worth.
The family is a major culprit at this point in time. Every child, whichever family you are from, whether it's an orphanage that you are growing up from, whether you are with your guardians, whether you are with your real biological parents, whether you are with mom and stepfather or dad and stepmom, that primary unit play a major role in your self-esteem. If they don't help you achieve it, you find that you always keep struggling. Yes, you may be able to develop it if you go to a school that focuses on those soft skills. Because some schools will just focus on academia, but schools can also help. That is why these two major environments, your home environment and school environment, they are major players. By the time you start working, your self-esteem is already formed. So at that point in time, it's not really whether it's self-esteem issues or not self-esteem, it's mainly personality. That is this person's personality coming to play. But your self-esteem, your parents and your teachers, they play a very significant role. And once we get it wrong, it affects the child so negatively that emotional, psychological issues then come in. Some of the children even feel traumatized because they always believe that they are not enough, they are not adequate. And they see other children assuming a whole lot of, confidence, a lot of self-worth, because self-esteem, self-worth, self-confidence, they all go on the same spectrum. So if you don't have that self-esteem, your self-worth and self-confidence is also affected. So when they see other children projecting that, they will what is so you see some children, other children always gravitate towards them, and we're wondering what do they have more than what these other children are. Is that self-esteem that makes them very confident? They do that even if they're not doing it well. You see other children wanting to do that wrong step they are doing because they are doing it in a confident way. So we need to, family is highly linked, whether physically, whether scientifically. We all know the family play a very significant role. So parents need to get it right. Go back to intentional parenting so that you'll be intentional in helping your child build the self-esteem that he or she needs to excel in the world that we are in.
Another thing that I think for me also affects self-esteem, especially in this part of the world, is how our parents raised us. I think that's something that is very strong. African parents raise you thinking that the more negative they speak to you, the more positive you become. So you can go home and they say, oh, didn't you see Lagbaja? She did better than you. She did this, she did that. Oh, I just heard that Kinikon's child is somewhere. And they are telling you those things to make you feel as if you would, because of that comparison factor, yes. But what comparison does is actually the opposite. So it just continues to make you feel less and less and less and less of yourself. And I mean, yes, I had parents like that who, well, I have only one set of parents. I makes myself, I had many parents, But my mom was like that. God bless her, she's alive. She doesn't watch this. She's an amazing mother. Mommy, I love you. But, she also just felt like the way to bring out the best in you a lot of the time was with, words that were just very strong. But those words did the opposite. And for parents watching this as well, for me, it's very important to watch what you say to your children. If you want a positive result, speak a positive word. It doesn't work the other way around. If you want a negative result, no problem. Continue to speak the negative words. But you cannot tell the child, no, you're bad children. Omo jati jati, that's like useless child. Omo rede rede. All you have is jati jati and rede rede. And that is what a lot of young people are facing. You are speaking words to them, but you want another outcome. It doesn't work that way. You have to speak what it is that you want. I learned that growing up. I've had to consciously, I got to positions in life. When I say positions, I don't mean like outward. I mean, I got to situations in life where I had to ask myself, why are you acting like this? Why are you thinking like this? Why are you responding like this? And I had to tell myself, oh, Tony, it is what you've heard for so many times growing up. And then I had to do that conscious job of, okay, then re-speaking or consciously truly believing. I mean, I look at other people sometimes and I'm like, why is this girl so confident? Hey, why am I not like this? I mean, this was way back. And then by the time I hear their story, I'm like, no wonder, hey, God, I didn't have that kind of brain up. Oh. Father, you have to help me, you know, because, but it's a struggle. And it's better if you don't make me have to have that struggle in life.
My pops, he decided that he was no longer involved. I think when I was 13, I saw he disowned us, the children. So we were like, we were still living together, but he did not live in the house, yeah. He had his own special place, still in the same compound, yeah, but he never came into the house. So we were just like living with my mom, and that's how we went on. I did not have a father from, I think, 11 upwards, because we did not flow with him the way he wanted us to. Comparing it to how I was living in London then, when I was younger, I had this Superman cape suit, like, oh, I told you that I had fans. So when I wear my Superman cape and I run around in the streets, waving my hands, Superman, the rest of the children, they are following me. I'm the leader of Justice League, but then everything changed. No support, no love from Pops. He never bought anything for us. So we're just dependent on mom, and she was sick. She had hypertension, asthma, and she has heart problems as well. So the things she was doing before, she was not able to do them. And the only reason she still stayed was because of us. If our pop would train us, at least we would then grow up, because she was not able to do those things. It got to the point that it affected my senior sister, so she moved away, and it affected my elder brother. Then he did not know how to handle it, so he messed up. So it was just only me. So I trained myself. I practically I went to a government school, so sometimes in school they will tell you to bring money for some stores. I had to sometimes work after school, so I paid those stuff by myself. So I practically trained myself.
Growing up from childhood, I grew up with my mom. As I said before, there was no dad. My mom always tells me the story that my dad left when I was like 5 months old. That was pregnancy, 5 months old. That's when they departed. And my dad, it's a polygamous house. My dad has 5 wives. My mom is the second wife. My dad has 5 wives. So I didn't grow up with my dad, I grew up with my mom. I grew up in a very bad area. Understand? But by the grace of God, at least I'm still a little bit good. Because I was born in Motion and raised up in Oshodi. So my story is somehow tragic a little bit.
Many things changed, good and bad. For bad, yeah, it really affected me. Okay, academically, usually when I was in junior school, I came first position always till, it started in JSS 3, then next thing I jumped from first to 23, and nobody cared. I come back from school, and with my own exam results, I don't show anybody what I score. It was just like everything was just there. No, there was no love again. Nobody cared. We just had to live. It was just pain. And then when I got to senior secondary school, I almost even repeated my SS2 because, like I said before, I did not go to school to go to school sick. I go to school to have fun. I go to school to play ball, to stay with my friends, talk, just waste the time. Sometimes I go to school and I don't come back. I come back to like 6, nobody will say anything. So it changed. It was not easy, not easy at all. I should say I'm a strong person because I never really talked about it outside. Like that last interview we did. I'm one of those people who bottled it inside my mind and I'll sink it down. But when I got out from secondary school, there was this period of time I don't usually talk. Like I wake up in the morning and I don't talk to anybody, and nobody can nobody. I still had that lead in the house when I was very young. That I could make decisions and nobody can say anything else because that is just how it is. So emotionally, there was this time I felt numb. I was just there. I was usually very sad, always sad. With my cute fair face child. Yeah, I know I was very cute when I was small, so I am proud to say it, well, not now. I have an old face now.
At about age 9, I began to notice that I could not use my right hand like everyone else. I was constantly called a lefty. In some cases, I was scolded for using my left hand. My mom told me about the incidents that took place during my birth. How the nurse pulled my right hand as I was being delivered, and as a result, my hand was dislocated. So for the first 10 months or so of my life, I was undergoing physiotherapy. My right hand was never the same again. I got accustomed to using my left hand. I felt like someone who had a deformity in her right hand. Every time someone said anything about my left-handedness, I withdrew into a shell. I was very self-conscious, overly conscious of my right hand. I was ashamed. My mom tried. She always told me it was not a deformity, that I wasn't born this way, that it was an accident, and that the nurse paid dearly for her mistake. But it wasn't enough for me to find closure. In trying to hide my hand, I preferred to wear long-sleeved clothes. I was not comfortable wearing anything that would expose my right hand. I did all I could to hide it. My self-esteem eroded faster. I avoided activities that would need me using my right hand in public. I did not want to be seen in front during a photo session. I did not even want to take photographs. My attraction to the piano was the first thing I can remember that made me ignore the challenge I had with my right hand. I wanted to learn how to play by all means. At age 13, I learned how to play the piano. I started playing in church even to my undergraduate days on campus. Learning the piano was not easy for me. My right hand always posed a challenge. The feelings of inadequacy crept up again, and I haven't played in public for a very long time.
Parents of the 21st century need to unlearn the parenting techniques of the 19th century. There is a lot to unlearn, learn, and relearn to raise a healthy teenager and adult. Next on BYL.
I was just like a yes person. I never felt I had the right to say no. Like, do you get, like, I just felt like everybody was above me. Like, there is no no for me. Like, if you come to meet me for something, even if it's inconvenient for me, I'll say yes to you because it felt like I just wanted you to like me.
You know, it was bad because at some point, immediately after graduation, it was difficult to get a job. My uncle would tell me, you are SS, I better sit there in the house. Don't go and start stressing yourself so that you do not go and die in the process or something. And it's not as if they're handing you money. They're not giving you money.